What's up, guys?
On this week's show,
Sega!
Backpack.
And Luke Skywalker is your friend to the end?
All that and more on this episode
Of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
Cue the music.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared, and with me are my co-hosts, Benwah.
I remember what I was going to say last week, so I'm going to say it now, okay? You guys ready? Michael Nakazawa.
And DJ Mellybell.
Hey!
Now, before we get started, I want to let you know, if you enjoy the show, tell your friends about us. Share us on your social media, whatever you choose to do. Just know that you're helping us let others know about the best damn podcast they probably never heard of. If you want to talk to us, the show is on Twitter at Giant Leap, the number 4 Geeks. You can get a hold of our resident DJ Mellymell at Froggy Beaver, and Benwah is at Benwah Gaming. That's BENWAH Gaming. Before we get started, I have a question.
Okay.
What you been doing?
Let's see. What did I do this week? I had a very boring week at work.
Mm-hmm.
A very eventful but satisfying week at home. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Why are you so cryptic?
I don't know.
I'm like, is this a riddle? Like, what is happening? She's like, uneventful yet satisfying. I'm like, what is happening right now?
I don't really remember much of this week. I'm sure that there was a couple.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a movie thrown in there somewhere. And
okay. Do you remember what you saw?
No.
Wow.
I don't think it was at the theaters though. It was
Sure.
something we rented.
We
Oh,
almost went and seen Dumbo this weekend, but we didn't.
yeah. I had
Spoiler
no
alert,
desire
we
to
didn't
see Dumbo.
Dumbo.
We rented Ben is Back.
Yeah. And something else too. You were telling me yesterday.
And the Second Chance.
Yep.
Second Chance had Jennifer Lopez in it and
Yeah.
Leah Remini, and then Ben is Back is starring Julia Roberts. And
No relation to Benwah.
No.
No, I'm more a fan of Emma. Emma Roberts.
What about you,
how
Benwah?
doing? Hi. I've been doing a bit of, despite the snow that we had Saturday, I've been feeling better now because it's been a bit, like, it's sunnier out, obviously, because springtime, the sun rises earlier in the day. So it's motivated me to do a lot of cleaning up around the house. I did some rearranging of the spare bedroom and my room, and other than that, it's pretty good. Although I realized that the lighting in my room sucks. I tried pulling my old chroma key green screen back out, and I don't have the right lighting for it. And so that stinks.
You need
Also,
different bulbs.
You get like a spotlight.
I don't want to invest and then have a bunch of tall... I'm not going to bother with that anymore. It's not worth it to me.
Just get a new bulb, dude. They got like super bright bulbs. There you go.
I think I know what he means.
Or
For
no,
if
but
he's gonna be
it's-
filming himself.
It
then-
still isn't going to be even lighting. I'm going to have
Yeah.
to it won't work unless I actually buy some stands or anything.
Which
Yeah.
you
Also,
filming?
well, no, it's just for the stream, the green screen when I'm live. There's a lot of
He
people
does
want me
puppet
to.
shows on the
Oh,
weekends.
yeah. Harry
I
Potter Puppet
do.
Pals.
I do with the socks and sometimes.
Right.
You know what? I'm not going to go down that route. I was going to make a comment about jizz-filled socks, but I'm not going to go.
Oh
there.
man, shit!
I was going to say
Turn
sometimes the
quickly.
socks.
I'll say that's
The socks are sticky. That's what I was going to say.
That's
But-
kind of funny because my head was there too. So
Oh god.
what
well,
about
so
you,
was
Mike?
mine. you
Oh
know, because
my
the head of
god.
What about you, Mike? What you been doing?
Well, okay. Usually when we do the what you been doing, I try to
I
keep
meant
it.
the head of my dick. That's what that meant.
We all know what you meant, Ben.
Okay.
I try to keep it usually pretty upbeat and positive, but I don't want to alarm anyone, and I almost don't want to say anything because I don't want to make it definitive, but I am in the process of more than most likely I'm going to be losing my job. So that being said, I don't know how much longer we may be able to do the podcast. I'm not saying that we're going to go away forever. I'm not saying that. Stop it. I'm not saying that this is the end of One Giant Leap for Geeks. I am just saying that we may have to go on a possibly indefinite hiatus. It's just I'm just trying to be practical with funds. I can't justify doing my hobby that costs me money when, I'm going to probably see a big, decrease in my income coming here soon. You'll definitely get regular episodes for the next few weeks for sure, at least until the end of April. Hopefully we can get Avengers Endgame in before we go away. Thanos snapped away the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah. That
Now, for the record, I want this to be recorded and put on the podcast so everybody can hear it. I want to apologize for opening my big mouth and telling Mel why you might be losing your job. Don't laugh at him, Mel. That's no. It's funny, but it's income. Don't.
Yeah, no.
So I apologize. I just want to put that out there because I know there's a little bit of heat between us right now because of this. I'm sorry.
Lost.
Yeah, I mean it's. And I mean, and I for the sake of just time, like I'm not gonna go super far into it, but I just wanted to just let people know that and let them know that I don't think we'll go away forever, but at least
we'll still be present on social media.
Yeah,
so you can always still get a hold of us.
Yeah,
until the internet gets cut off.
Right.
Well,
right. Take my phone. Yeah, cut my internet off. Yeah. Until that point comes.
Well, I have multiple phones. One is a business line and one is a personal line.
She don't use any of them though. So if you contact DJ Melly
The fuck I don't. Hey, I felt very excited.
Now if you get a hold of DJ Melly on Facebook though, she's all over that shit.
I'm all over Facebook. And I'm learning Twitter. I actually checked it regularly this week, so kudos for that. And
nice.
I posted a picture on Instagram last week.
What?
But since the last show.
Good job.
And you and the show both liked it. So
I did. That's basically it. I will keep you, guys updated with what's going on, but I felt it only right to say something because if we suddenly just disappear, I would be remiss not to at least bring it up and kind of give you guys a heads up. So yeah, there's wait. There is one other thing too that I want to bring up for this week.
Live from New York, it's wait.
I'm sorry. I'm just fucking with you. I can't keep it going no more. I'm not losing my job, and we're not gonna not be doing a podcast anymore. Don't hate me. I can see. I was gonna keep it going all the way to the end of the episode, but you can see DJ Melly Mel's face right now. I've been having this going for like at least 24 hours now. I was gonna not break character all the way to the end of the episode. Well, because I needed to do something for April Fool's Day. Okay. And the fact that you didn't even question it, I was like, aw. I was like, you know what? And to be totally transparent, DJ Melly Mel, she called me last night and she was talking to me and she was like, I feel really bad about everything that's going on with you and your situation. And, if we got to figure out a way to keep the podcast going, like I'll do it. And to be fair, A-Train, a.k.a. Amber, she was calling me an asshole the whole time. Actually, she's been peeking at me through the bedroom door this whole time I've been talking, waiting to see what I was going to say, because I told her I wasn't going to tell you until we did the podcast. You can say something. Go ahead. Tell me how much I'm an asshole. It's okay.
I can't right now.
Hey, but look, though, at least we're not canceling the podcast.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and Benwah, he was in on it the whole time. He knew. I did a different April Fool's Day joke with the people at work. I have a group chat that I text everybody in with the schedule and stuff, and I told them that I have found a new job and I was going to be leaving, and I wasn't going to be their store manager anymore, and I waited to see, how long I could drag it out for, and then once my assistant manager got a hold of me and was like, oh, I'm going to, miss you, and it's going to be weird without you, this, that, and the other, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole, I can't keep it going. I felt bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have broke character to the end of the episode. I should have let the whole thing go and then at the very end did it. Next year.
Have I ever told you how much I absolutely hate April Fool's Day?
No, but I'm learning now.
I absolutely hate.
To be
April
fair to
Fool's
me,
Day.
though, I've never pulled an April Fool's Day prank on you before.
It
now,
doesn't
so.
matter.
I didn't know.
It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Oh, okay, good.
It's just, in general, pranks are mean and rude and
I know.
horrible and...
No, they're not.
You know
Yes,
what?
they
No, they
are.
are not. No, they're not.
It showed me how good of a friend you are and how willing you were to try and help me out in my time of fake need. Don't rat-a-tat your fingers at me. I'm sorry. She's going to be in a mood the rest of this podcast. I should have waited to the end. At least then we'd have been done recording.
This week's dumb shit of the week. Michael fools me into thinking he got fired.
Right. And because we didn't have an April Fool's Day episode, because it doesn't fall on April Fool's Day, so I was like, I had to do something, and this was the only thing I could think of. I'm sorry. I'll have something different next year. At least you won't think I lost my job next year. She's like, fuck you. I hate you so much right now. Anyway, moving on.
A study in the 1950s found that in the UK and in countries whose traditions derive from the UK, the hoaxes ceased at midday. This continues to be the current practice, with the holiday ceasing at noon, after which time it is no longer acceptable to play jokes. So yes, master, you truly are an asshole.
So, for the first trailer that we're going to be reviewing this week is the long-awaited, long-anticipated Dora, the Explorer movie.
Anticipated by whom?
Oh, somebody was asking for this, apparently. It is called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. What the fuck is happening? Like, what is this?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay, so in researching this, and I was aware of it before, but I went back and watched it again. Do you know the College Humor YouTube channel?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I
They put out a
faithfully
video.
subscribe.
Okay, so you may have seen this. They put out a video back in 2012 of a Dora the Explorer movie starring Ariel Winter. She's like the girl from Modern Family.
Okay, yeah, I might have seen it.
Okay, so it's just a parody trailer of the movie, and it's basically what we just saw for the actual movie. Like, she's like shooting guns in slow motion and shit. Backpack is like this AI, like, you know, Knight Rider kind of shit on her thing.
Yeah, man, Dora the Explorer and Tomb Raider. That's what this is.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and like Benwah had said at the beginning of this, I'm like, who is this for? Like, who is asking for this? Because
I don't know.
Dora the Explorer was a show for, like, kids to learn, like, developmental shit, like eye-hand coordination and shit like that. It's like, do you see the mountain? And then just stare at the screen for, like, 10 minutes waiting for that one kid that can't tell where it is to say something. But it's like, that's not what this movie is.
Right.
So it's like, is it for the kids who grew up with Dora?
Could be.
And now that they're older, they're like, now Dora's serious and shit.
Grown up Dora.
Right. And I had to look it up. I don't know if it's okay to say this still because I think she's 17. But, like, Dora is too hot. Like, I can't deal with this shit because I'm just like, I feel weird looking at this girl because I'm like, the moment, like, she's, like, doing something in the trailer. I think, like, running in the jungle or some shit. And she's, like, sweating and shit. I was like, you know, this chick's kind of hot. I was like, I feel weird about this. I'm like, I don't know if this is okay for me to be seeing her in this way. Give it another year, it'll be fine. But
That's still jailbait.
yeah.
That's weird. No.
I get what you're saying, too, though, because, I mean, if you do not know this actress and you're used to, like, Hollywood putting 20-year-olds in the role of high schoolers, you would assume she's probably, like, 20, 21.
Oh, yeah.
She has the same kind of face as, like, a Selena Gomez or an Ariana Grande, where they're, like, pushing 30 now, but they still look like they're 13.
Yeah, they got that baby face, like, legit baby face.
Yeah. But what threw me off even more about this was the fact that in the cartoon, Dora is like 7.
Yeah, she's like a toddler.
Yeah. Wait, Seven's not a toddler, huh?
Well, yeah,
No.
you know what I'm saying.
And the girl who's playing her is going to be playing a girl who I'm not 100% sure. Apparently, her and her family are from the jungle or something. Because in the trailer, it's almost like she needs to acclimate herself to high school. But it doesn't seem like, oh, you're now going to be in 9th grade as a freshman. It's like, oh no, now you're going to be with other kids your age. So I'm not sure if she's like 14 in the movie or if she's like 15, 16. However old she is in the movie, it's at least 7 years older than her character in the cartoon.
Oh, at least, yeah. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she is like a sophomore or even a junior, maybe even a senior in the movie. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, she is not. That is not. We skipped a lot of Dora's developmental time as a child. We skipped through preteen years and all that shit.
Well, you got to skip that awkward phase.
I guess, man.
That's what they're doing these days, you know. Kids
you're
are
right.
skipping that awkward phase.
I guess.
But do kids come to school with knives and grappling hooks and rope?
Flares and shit? And
we do live in Central Michigan, so
yeah. I love that she goes to. You can tell that she goes to a public school in a probably not the greatest area because they actually have like metal detectors and security guards that go through your backpack and shit. The more like affluent schools, they're just like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, just come on in. I was like, you know, to kind of just make a commentary on the way different shit is when you're poor and not poor. The school I went to, pretty much every public school in Flint, after Columbine, you had to go through a metal detector. You wasn't coming to that fucking school without having your backpack searched. They had drug-sniffing dogs in schools and all that shit. But then when they bring it to, like, suburban schools,
I would say I've never been to a school.
Exactly. They're like, oh my God, my child should not be treated this way. It's like, fuck your kid.
We had one security guard in my second high school that I went to in Texas.
Yeah, think like Dangerous Minds. That was like the school environment that I grew up in. But one of the things that I found funny about this, besides the whole, you know, going through her shit and finding all the weapons and all that, I'm like, the comedy in this is so weird. Because she gets her backpack stuck in the fucking bus, and it's like, oh, wait, and I'm just like, what? Who is laughing at this? I'm like, it's like comedy aimed at, like, children, but the action is aimed at, like, teenagers to young adults, and I'm just like, it's not meshing together. It's
a weird compilation of things. I saw this trailer and I was like, the fuck did I just watch? Like, I was more mind-fucked after this than I was when I saw Us.
Yeah. Right. Now, one of the things I did want to make sure that we brought up, too, is, can we talk about Boots? What the fuck is that monkey?
Creepy as all hell.
I've seen all the Planet of the Apes movies. And I know we have come a long ass way when it comes to fucking CGI and animals. And I get it. I know he's not real. He's not even modeled after a real monkey. He's like purple and weird and shit. But I'm just like, guys, like, did we even try? Like, what was the budget for the special effects team? I'm like, Jesus Christ. It looked terrible.
I hope that the monkey is one of those things that gets redone when the final shoot is there.
Right, like they haven't fully rendered it or some shit. Because I'm like, man, Boots looked fucked, man, like real bad. And then too, like to the comedy thing, because they do that little close up shot of Boots looking over her at the thing. Mm-hmm. I thought that they killed Dora at the beginning of the trailer. Like the very first scene when she's running and trying to jump over that ledge and she falls and she's like, "Oh, I'm okay, Boots," and I'm like, "Are you though?" I'm like,
that was too high of a fall.
Thank you. I was like, if nothing else, she should be like a paraplegic, if not dead, for real. Maybe that's the end of the movie, and in the sequel, she'll be in like a wheelchair or some shit.
Right? Because
I was just like, Jesus, like what? Like who? No, like no one survives that.
No, but I don't think anybody wanted this movie.
No, but one of the things, it was rumored back in 2017 that Michael Bay's production company, Platinum Dunes or whatever it's called, that they were making this movie. Because remember, we talked about this when they showed the first image months ago.
I remember.
He later came out and said, you know, like, don't you blame this bullshit on me. Like, we not making this bullshit. But it still seems fishy to me because the girl who was playing Dora was in the second to last Transformers movie that Michael Bay did. So I'm like, are we sure you didn't have some kind of involvement in this? Because it's ironic that this same young girl who was in your Transformers movie is now playing Dora, and it was rumored that your company was going to make this. Because, I mean, just looking at it, it looks like some, like, poor man's, like, Michael Bay kind of shit. Probably closer to, like, Robert Rodriguez kind of Spy Kids type.
Very Spy Kids.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl bullshit.
Impossible.
Oh, dude, Jesus.
Which they're making a live action, by the way.
Yeah, no, I saw that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I this is just gonna be a train wreck the whole way around, and I can't wait to see it because I love watching just horrible movies. Unintentionally horrible, because they look like they're really trying to make some cool shit for somebody, but it's like, this is, I'm probably gonna have more fun watching this than I did with Venom, because at least with Venom or with this, it's like I can at least laugh at how stupid it is. With Venom, I was just angry the whole movie. So
well, they're different characters. You know, they're trying to take all these childhood characters and push them onto the silver screen. Which works for the most part.
Sure.
If you pick the right ones.
Yeah, Dora was not...
Nobody wants to pick...
Live action Rugrats movie.
I'd be down for that.
No.
Now,
I think Angelica, I'd want to go through the screen and punch her in the face. I really would. She reminds me too much of my cousin. Like, I've said since Rugrats was on and I was this tall, you know, that persona of Angelica is modeled after one of my cousins.
What were you saying, Benwah?
I was saying that I don't think anybody really asked for this film, and if anybody did, which demo? Because Dora the Explorer debuted 19 years ago. All the kids who would have initially watched this on Nickelodeon, like when they were, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the eldest, they'd be in their 20s now. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't go see this movie based on nostalgia or anything of the sort.
Can you stop making me feel old?
Well, the point I'm trying to make
time is making you feel old. Shit, don't blame him.
The point I'm trying to make is that any kid who was young enough and still watched Dora the Explorer probably wouldn't be the type you'd necessarily expect to take into a film like this. And anybody who's probably 6, 7, 8, 9 wouldn't necessarily want to see this film.
No. And probably isn't even watching Dora anyway.
Well, that's the point I'm making. Who is this going to appeal to?
Yeah.
Is it just a matter of you making an action film, an action adventure film starring a kid, and you're just throwing the Dora name on it because it's a known IP? Are you trying to capitalize on that? But then again, it's Nickelodeon producing this film, so they're doing this intentionally. So I don't really understand the reason behind this, nor who it's trying to appeal to. It's just, this is crazy.
No, go ahead.
Because I watched this. I was 15 when the show first came on TV. But I watched it a little bit, because my sister, when she was growing up. Sure. But she's going to be 14 now, and I doubt she'd want to see this movie.
No, probably not. One of the things that is crazy to me, because like you brought up, like Nickelodeon is producing this. It's like, this is your IP. Why are you treating it like this? This feels like when, like, people make, like, low budget ass, like, like video game adaptation movies where it's just like they just don't give a shit and they're just trying to capitalize on the IP. It's like, y'all have creative control over this. Y'all could have made something, I don't know what it would have been, but they could have made something cool out of this. And they didn't even try. It's like, this just looks terrible.
It really does.
And only what's offensive to me is Michael Pena is better than this movie. I saw him in this shit and he's doing that wah, blah, 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 and I'm like, what is he doing?
You're like, Ant-Man paid you well, okay?
I'm like, Michael Pena is hilarious and he's a good dramatic actor. what is he doing in this movie? I'm like, well, how much did they pay you for this bullshit?
The whole budget.
I know, you're right.
That's why Boots is suffering.
They took that Boots money and gave it to Michael Pena. Oh, and then Danny Trejo is voicing Boots.
That's where all the money went. Yep.
And then
No. Eva Longoria would have got the highest.
Right, probably. And then Benicio del Toro is also playing Swiper, which they didn't show him in the trailer, so I don't know if he will be an actual person or if he will be another CGI thing. Which, if that's the case, it's like, well, how do you explain talking fox stealing shit? I don't know. Like, it's fucking weird, man. And I'm like, if they were going to do this, they should have went the Detective Pikachu route and just made it like a straight-out comedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
At least Detective Pikachu I can respect.
Right.
I want to go see that.
Yeah, that looks funny and fun, and I can excuse a lot of the other silly shit. But this, they're like, oh, she's an explorer and shit, and it's like, she's not Tomb Raider. She's not Indiana Jones. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have the energy to be mad at this no more.
Nickelodeon came out with Doug, and then Doug went to ABC a little bit older.
Yep.
And you had the Rugrats, and then Nickelodeon brought them back a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a track record of doing stuff like this. Maybe not necessarily like big budget Hollywood film.
Right.
They
But
brought
they've gone
Doug
this
back
route
a little
before.
older.
Yeah, well, it was
Doug
on
was
ABC.
already
It was
in
on
high
ABC
school.
though.
Yeah, but no,
It was on
like,
ABC though.
Yeah, it was like
no. Doug was not in high school.
he was like middle school. I think he was high school in a later show.
I always remember him in high school.
Because his clothes were longer. It really was. His shirt was like, he wore the same outfit, but his
voice
shorts
was a
were a
little
bit
bit
longer.
deeper.
Yeah. He had like 3 extra hairs on his head.
To my knowledge, this will be the third time Nickelodeon's taken one of their own IPs and making it older. Even though Doug was on ABC when he was older, but
yeah.
Still. The point I'm making is they have a slight track record of doing this. I'm wondering how this is going to pan out. Does this at all make me want to see the film? Or would I be willing to take a kid to see the film?
Nah.
No.
I don't want to take a kid. I want to see it. Because I know it's going to be bad. I'm going to laugh my ass off the whole movie. I want to see it for my own twisted enjoyment. Because this shit looks...
Not in theaters, though.
No, yeah. Shit, look.
Yeah.
Go. I can go to the theater in Birch Run, go have some drinks, and just crack the fuck up the whole fucking movie.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm going to sit in them cuddle seats right at the front row. Oh, it's going to be great. Oh, but anyway.
This film will be released on August 2nd.
Yep.
So, in a few months.
Yep. So, mark your calendars, kids.
I'd
All
rather
right.
not.
Moving on.
I'm still waiting on the live-action Wonder Pets movie. Or maybe even a Zoboomafoo movie. Starring Dolph Lundgren and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This one is going to be a palate cleanser because that last trailer was just rough.
Garbage.
Yes. This actually looks like this could be good.
Yes, it does.
Except for a few minor things here and there with some of the dialogue. I was like, wait, why did you write them to say that? And if you're going to say that, don't put it in a trailer. That's stupid. So apparently, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, this is based off a book?
Yes.
Or a book series?
Yes.
A series of books.
Okay, yeah. I am completely unfamiliar with this. You guys seem to know about this a bit more than I do.
I loved them. Especially the one about the guy with the hook in the car. And
Only thing I ever read was Goosebumps.
it was along the same lines as Goosebumps.
Goosebumps and Animorphs.
It was put out by, I believe, Shel Silverstein.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alvin Schwartz.
Vince Schwartz.
Alvin. Yeah.
So just watching this trailer, then are they taking like just a bunch of the stories from the books and just putting it into like one movie?
Well, the books were a collection of stories that you just, you'd read at slumber parties or out around the campfire.
Sure.
And it was just a collection of people's stories.
Okay.
And so
it wasn't like Goosebumps where every
it wasn't
book
a
was its own
series or
separate
nothing.
thing.
Okay. So it was like one book would be like maybe 6 stories or
Right,
some
right,
shit.
right.
Okay.
And there's
Oh
3
shit!
books in
Fucking
the
10,
series.
20.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so then they have a lot of material to pull from for this then.
Not really, because each story was pretty short.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're gonna flesh it out.
Oh yeah,
for the movie.
yeah.
Add a bunch of extra stuff.
A lot of urban legends, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, because one of the things that intrigued me watching this is I'm always fascinated with what Guillermo del Toro is involved with, like especially when it comes to horror, because he has such a twisted vision and like a love for like creatures and shit. He's not directing this, but he's like the executive producer, and all of his movies that have some kind of monster-ish thing in it always look creepy as shit. Like the what's the movie with the one where it has the demon thing has its hands and its eyes, or the eyes in its hands? Shit, I can't think of the name of the movie, but pretty much everything I've ever seen him do horror-wise always has some really creepy, fucked up-looking creatures in it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, hell, even Pacific Rim, the monsters and that shit were all fucking crazy-looking and shit.
Yeah.
But, like, the creatures in this, especially, like, the fat one that was in the hallway, that shit creeped me the fuck out. I was like, okay, you got me with that one. That was, like, disturbing.
Well, I mean, they seem like they're taking from the books very literally. And I mean, of course, the books didn't...
Like, the stories are real.
Well, yeah, that's what they're trying... Well, that was the point of the books, is they were trying to portray these scary stories as something that was... Like, you know, they found 10 people with the scariest story in the world, and it's all true, and...
Okay.
But it's based on, like, folklore and legends and stuff like that, so...
Still, though,
I'm actually excited about this movie.
No, I am too. This looks like it could be good, but like I said at the beginning, some of the dialogue is really kind of bad.
It was bad in the book, though.
There's a scene, and this isn't dialogue related. It's cheesy and has been done, and I'm sick of seeing it in horror movies, where the kid's getting like dragged under the bed and their nails are like scraping through the floor. It's like, I am so over. I've seen that so many times in movies. I'm like, can we stop doing that? Like, it's not scary anymore. They did. Sam Raimi did it in Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus dragging some bitch and she's scraping the floor. So I was like, look, okay, once you've put it in a superhero movie, you can't put it back in a horror movie again. It ain't scary no more.
It doesn't work like that.
But one of the bad dialogue lines were when the girl, she's like, you don't read the books read you. And I was like, okay, what does that even mean? Like, what? It reminded me of that joke from The Simpsons where like they always make like jokes about Russia and shit, and it's like, in Soviet Russia, a car drives you, and and it was just like, I don't know, what does that mean? The book reads you? I mean, what? Why have anybody say that? And now maybe that's a line from the book that's beloved, and people are like, oh, she said the thing the thing.
Could be. I only ever read one of them because one of them had a clown on the front.
Ooh.
Not like a real clown, but like a Joaquin Phoenix clown.
Okay, sure.
And it creeped me out.
Okay.
Dude had like pale pasty face and red nose and blue on his
So like
face.
he like did a bunch of meth and was like smoking a cigarette and shit.
Yeah.
He was like on his lunch break. He had like a 40 in a brown paper bag.
Yeah, I just remember there was one of them that I had got one of them at a yard sale, and I fell in love with it, and I could never find the other two. Well, I didn't want to find the one, and I could never find the other.
Well, what about you, Benwah? Like, what, like, does this, I mean, since you've read the books as well, does this interest you? Like, were you a fan of the books?
I mean, I read one of them, and I remember it had like 20-some stories, but nothing really sticks out to me as lasting in my head. But then again, neither do really any of the Goosebumps books. So horror is just horror, scary things. I'm gonna chalk it up the same way I chalk up to all like horror thriller stories. It doesn't really interest me or anything. It was one of those things where when I was a kid, they were popular, so I read them and I kind of liked some stories, but nothing stuck with me. So I have no opinion either or, although I am kind of curious as to how this is going to play out, since it will be just an accumulation of shorts. Like, is it going to be a montage or a collage? And I'm wondering, would it be better? Is it going to be okay and good in film format? Or would this be something that would be better off as like a one-off series on Netflix or like an American Horror Story type deal?
That's a good idea. This probably should have been something on Netflix or something like that, or American Horror Story or something, because I think that way you don't have to try and make this stretch into a 2-hour movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you can have more stories compacted per episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Because how are they gonna put these shorts together to make us actually feel for the characters who are dealing with these horrific things?
Right.
Is it going to be where we can somehow, like, basically what I'm getting at, is it going to be just a bunch of fucking jump scares and shit?
Probably. I mean, there's going to be some weird, creepy shit because it's Guillermo del Toro. He's a part of it.
Because how am I to empathize with somebody that I don't get a chance to know because their character's not developed enough in what'll be like a 10-minute short?
Right.
The acting is going to have to be really good.
That's when they put him in a situation that you can connect to the situation and not necessarily the character.
Yeah, because I've seen, and the word that you're looking for, not like a collage or something like that, an anthology. I've seen other anthology movies where it's like a bunch of shorter stories in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this movie called VHS that came out a few years ago, and me and Amber watched it on Netflix, and it was really good. And it was like a collection of like shorter like horror stories. And they came out with a few sequels to it, and they progressively got worse over time. But the first VHS was actually pretty damn good. But yeah, like I like anthology movies if it's done right. You know, if you can get me with the premise at the beginning of each story, you know, I don't necessarily need it to, because especially with horror, I almost never really care about the characters anyway. It's just the plot and the situation and how they're going to get out of it that I really care about, and the kills and shit. But I feel like it can be done right if they focus on the right things. Plus, the person has to have an eye for horror. Like it takes a unique kind of person to, especially nowadays, because we've seen every horror trope ever done to death, that it's going to take a special kind of person to find a new angle on something to make it scary. And like I said, the one thing that bothered me was the whole dragging him under the bed and screaming and shit. And I'm like, I've seen that. Like, I don't.
Like, that goes back to Freddy. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, the Ring did it better. Like, I don't need to see this shit no more.
Ring, Chucky.
Yeah, like I said, the one thing in this that was disturbing to me was the weird fat demon in the hallway. Like, it not even the setting per se, but just the creature design.
I want to say that demon kind of fucked with me, like the ones from 13 Ghosts. Do you remember?
Okay,
that movie?
I remember that movie. Yeah,
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Even though I saw it, it was one of the first horror movies that I saw as an older kid, and that movie fucked with me.
I think I went to the theaters and saw that. Actually, I remember that.
I didn't go to theaters.
Yeah. Go to your local
video
store,
Blockbuster.
Right, kids, and find 13 Ghosts.
Shit, it's on Putlocker. You ain't gotta. It's probably on Netflix.
Maybe, perhaps.
Although, seems like nothing I search for these days is on Netflix.
No, it's all Netflix
for
original
Netflix.
shit. Hell yeah! They said we ain't paying for this shit, licensing this bullshit. We got our own shit.
But yeah,
we spent all our money on Friends.
Right, right, pretty much. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that ghost or demon looking dude. The one that you're talking about.
Was it a dude or was it a woman? I don't even know.
I don't know.
It was just weird.
Okay, the ghosty demon thingy.
It reminded me of something you would have seen in like a Silent Hill game.
Yeah,
or maybe even a Resident Evil. Probably more so a Silent Hill. Because Resident Evil was mainly just zombies and giant monsters with claws and shit. So, but yeah, no, this does look interesting. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to run out to see it, but I want to check it out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like, it looks interesting.
It's not an opening weekend kind of thing?
Nah.
No, it's no Avengers, but...
Hell no. Yeah, it ain't for the break Fandango or anything.
Despite how scary you think this may be, it is meant by Guillermo del Toro to only be PG-13. So it is going to be something that you can have teenagers with. He wanted to go that route.
Oh,
Why?
damn. I wish you hadn't told me that. Damn, that kind of knocked me down a few pegs now.
Well, because the source material it's like children's books.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to be like rated
They
R.
were for teenagers.
Yeah. No, he's right, though. It's probably going to be like a Goosebumps level. Not that Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. That was
No,
bullshit.
Goosebumps was like
Goosebumps
elementary
with Jack
school,
Black.
maybe preteen. This is meant to be like bringing in the 15, 16, 17. The demo that's just under the age where you have to have an adult to go
Right,
see
like
it.
their next book was fucking The Hunger Games after this. I got you. Twilight was the first one, then this, and then they're going to read Hunger Games. I got you.
I'm so glad that I had my children, or I will have my children way post Twilight.
Oh, they're gonna have their own Twilight. It's gonna this shit ain't going nowhere.
Ain't nothing gonna be worse than some sparkly ass vampires, okay?
Fair.
Thank you.
Fair. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
I had a rebuttal to that, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? They completely bastardized the vampire with mythology and werewolf mythology.
Yes.
So I'll give you that. Fair.
Thank you.
Fair.
I'm not
Now,
saying
if
there
you do
won't
wanna
be
see-
a popular book, but it won't be sparkly vampires.
Okay.
There's going to be dumb teen shit for your kids. It's
Yeah.
gonna
It just
happen.
won't be that.
Now, if you do want to see scary stories to tell in the dark, that film is going to be debuting a week after Dora. Dora and the Lost City of Gold, like I said, is August 2nd.
Holy shit.
This will be August 9th.
Holy shit. Drive-in, double feature, Dora the Explorer, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
All right, let's pack up to Lennon Road and let's go.
There's a week between them, though. You ain't going to hang out there all,
Well, no,
but they'll still
You
be
see
showing.
it. Yeah. You see it once Scary
Okay.
Stories comes out, and then just double feature it. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
We should see if the one in Flint's playing.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Oh man. Oh, stay tuned.
Get that lead-filled popcorn.
Hell yeah. Oh shit. All right, moving on.
You don't watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark watches you. Especially while you're masturbating.
Welcome to Benwah's Wabbit Hole. It's where I, Benwah, give you a brief synopsis of random things I found interesting on the internet. Some of these things may be further elaborated on in future podcasts, but I'd recommend you dig deeper for yourself if you're interested.
The views and opinions expressed in the Wabbit Hole are those of Benwah's and Benwah's alone, and do not necessarily reflect the position of any member, affiliate, or future sponsor, despite us not having any, of the One Giant Leap for Geeks podcast.
While many of you may have thought of April 1st as April Fool's Day, this most recent April 1st just so happens to have been the 40th anniversary of Nickelodeon. Originally debuting as Pinwheel in Columbus, Ohio on December 1st, 1977, the expansion of cable television and purchase by Warner Cable brought the first network for kids into homes across the country. Commercial-free, I might add, until 1984. The Pinwheel name would remain as reruns would air in morning blocks on Nickelodeon until 1990. Having now been around for 2 generations, it is a staple in pop culture. Happy anniversary, Nickelodeon. A Lithuanian man by the name of Evaldas Rimasaskas recently pleaded guilty of stealing a combined $122 million from Google and Facebook between 2013 and 2015. How'd he pull it off? Simple. He sent them invoices despite them not having purchased anything. His forgeries were so authentic appearing that he fooled the tech giants into thinking they owed the Taiwanese hardware company Quanta Computers Incorporated. He even doctored up contracts and emails to appear as if corporate executives were demanding payments. Multiple bank accounts divided his takings between 5 different countries, and because of this, he's facing charges of U.S. wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and money laundering. Agreeing to forfeit $50 million, he could face up to 30 years in prison. His sentencing is scheduled for July 29th. Empire actor Jesse Smollett, who recently claimed to have been a victim of a hate crime and subsequently turned himself in to face the charge of filing a false report, recently had that charge and 15 other charges dropped and his record wiped. Forfeiting his $10,000 bond, 2 days of community service were considered enough by prosecutor Joe Maggots, who felt Smollett had done enough to, quote, wipe his slate clean. Despite still believing Smollett is guilty, according to maggots, his office needs to focus on violent crimes. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and the police superintendent Eddie Johnson believe Smollett's fame helped him get off, while Smollett says he's been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. The city of Chicago is now suing Smollett for $130,000 as restitution for the investigation costs. Dude, listen. This was meant for last week's rabbit hole, but I got hooked up on amusement parks, and now I'm happy to share what some of you are probably already aware of. Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music has been officially announced. Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves will be reprising their roles as Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan. Wild Stallions! Out to fulfill their destiny and bring peace to not just the world, but the universe. The script had been finished for years now, but recently developments have resulted in some minor tweaks. And there's a good chance we'll see a number of characters from the previous two films make a return. What has been confirmed is that Scott Krupp, who produced the original films, will also be at the helm of this one, as well as the return of William Sadler, who played the Grim Reaper in Bonus Journey. Unfortunately, Rufus will be unable to attend in anything more than a flashback. Rest in peace, George Carlin. The film is scheduled for release in theaters on August 21st, 2020. Be excellent to each other. On Wednesday, March 27th, well, hopefully you were listening to last week's One Giant Leap for Geeks podcast, Nintendo released Labo-themed storage boxes for Labo kits in Japan. Now, for those unaware, Labo kits are cardboard cutouts and materials meant for assembly to amplify the gaming experience of the Nintendo Switch and teach principles of engineering, physics, and basic programming. Going for 800 yen, or roughly $7.25 US, these Labo boxes are for storage and transporting purposes. Each box is only large enough for one Labo kit, so it's recommended to purchase a separate box per kit. Basically, moral of the story, Nintendo is selling people boxes for boxes. There's even a tutorial on YouTube to teach people how to put their boxes in their boxes. Gotta respect the hustle. Now, speaking of YouTube, last week I stumbled upon the channel Jell's Marble Runs. Jell's is JELLE''S. And I was instantly taken back to playing with Marble Works as a child watching this channel. It's literally about racing marbles, but its presentation and production values are top-notch, and the dude even sounds like a professional sports commentator. Statistics appear to be kept for every race as teams of marbles compete over a number of courses and events, leading to the Marble Olympics, where fellow marbles watch in amazement in the stands, and oh my god, I'm talking about marbles like they're fucking people. This channel is fucking awesome, and you guys need to check it out. I'll probably watch some tonight in bed. The channel has just under 375,000 subscribers, and it can add one more to that number now because Benwah is subscribing.
And now back to your regularly scheduled podcast. I'm so excited for Bill and Ted 3. I can't wait to see the guys back together again. Even though Alex Winter looks like he was hit by a truck. Repeatedly.
It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right, Dumb Shit of the Week is the show where DJ Melly Mel finds dumb shit and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, or you can email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
Thank you. We had an interesting week. Quite a few dumb things popped up across my dumb shit dar.
Your dumb shit dar.
Shitar.
I like it.
Yeah.
Copyright One Giant Leap for Geeks.
Yes. So I've noticed last week I had quite a few, and this week I've got a couple. I picked the best three though.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the best three.
Okay.
So the worst three?
The best three.
Right. The best of the worst?
Yeah.
The worst best?
The worst of the best.
No. The best of the worst.
Okay. Mm.
So
the worst.
Yes.
the worst of the worst.
Both.
Okay.
So that'd be good then.
Now that we cleared that
He's
up.
double.
Right, there's
he's
double negatives,
man.
yeah.
The first one, this doesn't really mean, this is number 1, number 2, number 3. Just the first one I'm going to talk about. But
Okay.
if you've ever listened to our show, you know that we don't rank things like that anyways.
We don't discriminate against dumb shit. It's
We
all equal.
I sometimes
in our
rank
in no
things, though.
particular ranking order, whatever.
yeah, words.
Y'all a bunch of dumb fucks. That's all we're
Hyper-realistic
saying.
Teeth nail art.
What? Oh.
Yes. Hyper realistic teeth nail art.
As opposed to not hyper?
Right, I know, right.
As in, it
Still
looks
realistic, but not
like
as
this
realistic.
bitch has got teeth on the top of her fingers.
Oh no! Oh, that's gonna give me nightmares. Oh my god!
So
Okay, yeah, you have to describe it for the listeners. What you're talking about?
So she's like a blind eater, but she eats with her hands? Is
No.
that- It's like Braille?
she has taken her fingernails and went to a manicurist and said, I want my fingernails to look like teeth in my mouth. And not just like painted on teeth. This bitch has plaster.
Yeah,
or-
like it's like 3D.
I assume they're plaster.
They look like a bunch of molars
she
on
has
her hands.
plaster caps on the ends of her fingernails, and it basically looks like she took the teeth out of her mouth and made it grow from her finger.
It is horrifying.
Now
That is the kind of
Oh.
shit I was talking about when I was saying Guillermo del Toro does fucked up shit.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would
yeah.
be in one of his movies.
I think after the show, I'm gonna screenshot this and put it on Twitter
Oh,
for
please
everyone
do.
to see.
Please do.
Because I can't describe this. Like, it really looks like this woman is holding teeth.
No,
at
you
the
did a
end
good
of her
description.
fingers.
Yeah, like she drilled, like she plucked teeth out of her mouth,
And
drilled holes in the
stuck them on
top,
the
and
end of
then
her
stuck
fingers.
her fingers into them.
It's
It
terrifying.
is that is like nightmare fuel. Like no bullshit. The moment
So-
she showed it to me, I was like, "Oh no, I don't like that at all."
It's very creepy looking.
If this becomes a trend, I would rather the shit you talked about last week where people were cutting their fucking earlobes out.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than this, because no.
Can you imagine being with somebody like intimately and all of a sudden you see these teeth wrap around your dick or some shit? No.
Well,
that's creepy.
I don't know. Now,
I can't wait
now
for
I'm
the hood
kind
to
of
put
going
some
back.
grills on them fingertips.
Oh my
maybe
God.
it's not so bad.
Well,
No, but what would be
well, maybe
really
not
creepy
you
about it?
personally,
Fair.
but normal people.
What would be really creepy about it is, you know how like you always got that secretary or like receptionist at like a fucking office or some shit somewhere, and she's like tapping her nails or something. Could you imagine when they were fucking teeth? Oh my god, that is like, why?
Do you know that the clink that those things would have to make?
Now, I'm curious. Does it say, was this her idea or did she see this somewhere? Like, how did this come about?
She says, anyone who knows me knows that I don't play around with my nails. I travel an hour or more, 3 weeks, to trek to my favorite nail artists. We sit, we spill tea, we conceptualize what innovative nail art we'll work on for that day. And our inspiration comes from just about anything. From a vintage photo shoot to an outfit that caught my eye on a beautiful landscape, the options are always endless. You never catch me with the same design twice. And why would you? Nails are non-permanent form of expression that don't require much commitment, like makeup or tattoos do. Which, makeup doesn't require...
Yeah, I was gonna say, bitch, you can wash that shit
I
off.
would say
them teeth nails ain't coming off tomorrow.
makeup and tattoos are way different categories, but whatever.
Oh, God.
And she said she's got a favorite Instagrammer, Pat McGrath, and she has some other little less ordinary, basically anything strange, yada, yada, yada. She goes down to explain how, she always gets different kinds of, like, oh, I'm going to follow this Russian nail trend of getting a maxi pad pedicure.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
She don't deserve hands. Cut that bitch's hands off. Fuck the bullshit.
Hookah nails, crawfish nails, and even nails that give birth. So I'm assuming fingernails that shoot out little projectile babies. Kind of weird, but whatever.
She got pussy fingers.
I guess. I don't know.
You know what's
It never
funny?
goes to say never goes to say how.
So she was just like doing Molly one night and was just like, you know what? I should put teeth on my nails.
Yeah, she just kicking it with this nail artist, and she's like, God damn it, we're gonna put some teeth on my fingers.
You know what though?
You know what it is? Is her boyfriend's into dude like being bit.
Maybe, yeah. Instead of digging your nails into his back, you got teeth to dig into him.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Benwah?
I'm gonna say
the idea of somebody biting Ben is not turning on him for him.
This right here, the what you said about the birthing fingernails. I was gonna say the next thing she should do is just get her fingernails in the shape of buttholes and just have a bunch of buttholes on her hands. You got 10 assholes constantly with you at all times.
Anus fingers. I think that's a porn. Maybe
Sphincter's fingers.
I mean, we already had salad fingers.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Nice callback. That was good.
Anus
fingers. I'm pretty sure that's a porn. I know that I've come across it a time or
cups.
two. Anyways, let's moving on. We don't need to divulge into that. Okay, so the second dumb shit thing that I found this week. Idiots trying to siphon fuel end up... I'm sorry, I can't even get through the title of this one. Idiots trying to siphon fuel end up sucking shit from a sewage tank.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Please explain.
Now
that was the wrong port in the Winnebago.
Right.
Underneath the caption, it says "funny shit." Get ready for the puns.
I need a drum sound effect right there.
Undoubtedly, the most fitting funny shit content that we've published this year. Ironic that it's on Dumb Shit of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
A group of low-life thieves trying to siphon fuel from a bus have realized that there is more than one holding tank on tour buses.
Damn, it was a tour bus. Oh, God.
Unknown individuals spotted a bus parked in Central West Australia in Laverton in the middle of the night, but when they tried to pinch some free fuel, they mistakenly put the hose in the sewage tank, copping a mouthful of raw shit in the process.
Damn, raw shit. Like, as opposed to, like, seasoned shit.
Well, I mean, as far as...
No, I know.
Filtered. But it doesn't make it much better.
Wait, what is filtered shit?
Like, when you flush your toilet, your waste goes to the waste management, and they filter out the
I guess.
solids, and then they filter it through and filter it through and filter it through.
Where does that go, though?
Where do you think the Great Lakes come out?
Oh, are you serious?
Yes. They process it and filter it.
That's shit water?
It started as it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm
never going fucking to the beach again.
Police discovered the failed attempt when the sewage tank cap was found on the ground the next morning. We can only infer that they beat a very hasty retreat with a somewhat bitter taste in their mouth. Unsurprisingly, the police have zero interest in recovering the stolen goods.
You know what? Good. Fuck
but they are keen on a laugh, adding, "We hope word of mouth can lead them away from."
Okay, they need to. Whoever wrote this article need their ass beat for all these puns. Stop it. Fucking stop it.
If you know someone with shit breath, do get in touch with authorities.
God damn.
I mean, it adds a whole new dimension to the phrase "eat shit and die."
Right. There you go. I hope he choked on that shit. Oh yeah, and I wonder like if the tour bus like waste tank is bigger than like you'd find like a Winnebago or something like that, just because of the amount of people that's on it.
Could be.
Oh God. Right, I know. Right. Oh God. Oh.
Yes.
How do you not smell it through the holes?
I don't know.
Because when they were like sucking, because it's not like it immediately comes out. You got to like build up pressure to get it
put
going.
Some pressure in there. Gas and shit smell two different. Like,
man, hey.
I think I've only ever siphoned gas for something.
Oh, this must be diesel.
Fucking, I don't know. That would make me hurl everywhere.
I'm sure he did too.
They didn't mention finding it at the scene of the crime.
He probably just left it too. They were like, don't even take the hose, but just leave all this shit. Just let it just run out.
As soon as it would hit me, I'd be like, everywhere. Yep. Nope.
Yep.
And
you can smell it. You can smell it.
Yeah, apparently they got head colds or something because they couldn't smell it.
Fuck.
They just got a mouthful of shit.
I'm now just thinking like 2 guys, 1 siphon.
Oh, nice.
That's hilarious.
Oh, this can go right up next to that Fruit Loops video.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, now the third dumb shit is more or less a public service announcement.
Ooh.
The CDC has tweeted out a warning against reusing
Sucking
and
stripes.
washing condoms.
Are you fucking serious?
I swear to God.
They're literally doing everything wrong with condoms. Like, why? Just stop it.
Condoms are single-use products and should not ever be used, washed, or reused.
Okay, real quick. Who is fucking your broke ass that you are so broke or so frugal that you were trying to reuse condoms? Who is giving you pussy?
This is not the first time I've heard about people washing condoms.
It's like, what girl is so desperate for some dick that she would fuck a dude that would reuse a condom? It's like, no, girl, it's okay. Just put a little Dawn in there. Just, rinse that shit out, shake it up a little bit.
I had
how
I had a sexual behaviors class in college, and the number of people that believed that you could use a condom more than once was very alarming for a college campus.
What the fuck?
Very.
What sort of little brush would you need to rinse out the reservoir of semen?
Right.
When you bust,
You just flip it inside out.
Wait. Then what? You defeated the whole purpose of the condom.
No, to wash it.
Oh, okay. I
know that all y'all have grandmamas that take the Ziploc bags and flip them inside out and wash the inside. Or maybe just
when we was poor, but
maybe just my grandma.
We was so poor we couldn't afford Ziploc bags to do that shit.
We couldn't.
Look, you got a grocery bag and that was your baggie.
But
I hope that shit don't get freezer burnt.
You know how
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. Anyways, the CDC goes to say washing or reusing condoms can actually lower the effectiveness.
Really?
Yeah, it wears down. It wears.
No shit. Duh. She's like, no, yeah, Mike. I know. Go ahead.
I'm about to just walk out.
I know. She's still mad about the joke.
I'm just done. Apparently, this has become a serious trend, and the CDC would like to correct this before, too many things happen. A recent tweet sent out by the CDC STD, by the way. We say it because people do it. Don't wash or reuse #condoms. Please use a fresh one each time #sexact.
I don't know what's funnier.
Well, that's just the condom lobby just trying to get you to buy more
the
prophylaxis.
Anti-vaxxers are like the anti-vaxxers, the flat earthers, and the condom reusers all got a club, apparently.
Man, Trojan managed to sucker you guys for dollars on the down, man. It's just
I don't know what's funnier about this. The fact that the Center for Disease Control has to come out and tell people not to do this, or the fact that the Center of Disease Control is using hashtags on Twitter. I don't know what's funnier besides those two things.
Oh, there's statistics.
Oh, God.
A study published in 2012, so 6 years dated at this point.
Okay.
7 years dated at this point, depending on which. Condom use errors and problems. A global view. Between 1.4 and 3.3% of those surveyed admitting to reusing the same condom during intercourse.
Again.
How many people were surveyed?
3%.
Again.
How many people were surveyed, though?
Yeah. Does it say how many people were surveyed?
Because as far as I'm concerned, this sounds just like clinical trials. It doesn't really mean shit.
Well, let me see if it'll go.
Well, still, regardless of the point, man, it's like, what? Just don't use condoms at that point. If you're gonna do that, if I was a girl and some dude that was trying to hook up with me or my boyfriend or whatever, if he did not have more condoms and was like, no, it's cool, girl, I'm just gonna rinse this out real quick. We done. I can't fuck with you. If you can't splurge on condoms. It's like, come on, man.
I'll say a box of condoms is $7.
No wonder, the teen birth rate is so fucking high. I bet you all them bitches on Teen Mom baby daddies did this shit. They were just like, no, it's cool.
But where, like, I know sometimes some guys to put one in their wallet was, fellas, do not put your condoms in your wallet. That's not good.
Nope.
Don't keep
But a
them
lot
in
of
your
times-
car. Don't keep them in your wallet. All of that breaks down
But
the
a lot,
rubber.
like,
Yep.
you'll have a drawer where you got stuff in there. Sometimes there's some rubbers in that drawer too. Where do these guys, do they use it? Do they like clean it out? Do they rinse it on the clothesline?
Yeah.
What the
They
fuck?
hang it on a clothesline.
It's
where-
funny that you said that because
Do they put it on the hook for your coats?
it's,
Like, what do
it's
they do?
funny that you mentioned
Where do they
that
store these things?
because
Is there like a junk drawer? Do they put them in like a
shit.
Ziploc bag?
Oh.
one of the comments on the original Twitter post was, "Hold on, baby, I gotta go get one off the line."
Oh man, that's hilarious. No. What you do is you roll it up in your car window and just let it hang out and air dry.
Well, you'd have to have it completely not.
Right? Yeah, you put it on the antenna. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you'd have to have it completely hanging somewhere. You couldn't just roll it up and leave it because
Don't be trying to use logic to this bullshit. These motherfuckers rinsing out condoms.
I didn't say. I was just.
No, don't be trying to use like actual thought to dry this
No,
shit
no,
out. They
no.
don't give a fuck. They said it's all good.
Yeah, it does. I never found the actual number, but still, almost 4% of people.
Anything over 0% is fucking
Exactly.
like what the fuck, man.
You know what that means though, man. There's a market for reusable condoms out there.
Hell yeah, look, you better get on the internet and start plugging that shit away.
See, this is our 27th anniversary condom. We've used this condom 27 times.
You know what I want?
I don't even think it would last that.
Any condom companies out here, if you're listening, if you want to be our sponsor for reusable condoms, we will totally take a sponsorship from any reusable condom. I will support that.
Yeah, no.
That sounds like a multiple choice answer on like which of these products really exists, and then somebody would pick it.
Right. Hell yeah. You gotta make it work.
No. Take this.
Make it work
take
so we
your
ain't making
ass
babies.
to the fucking health center and get a handful of free condoms.
Thank you. You can go to any Planned Parenthood and they will give you
Any
like a
Planned
fucking
Parenthood.
candy, like Halloween candy pillowcase full of condoms.
And if
Like in a
you-
heartbeat for
you know,
free.
If you can't go to Planned Parenthood, then any health clinic will give you free condoms.
Yeah.
They usually have them sitting in a fishbowl on the.
Yeah, they're like mints. You can just take as
Yeah,
many as you
you
want. They have plenty. Like they will just keep cranking them bitches out. It's fine.
For the love of God, do not reuse your condoms.
Or do. Fuck it.
No,
Do it.
Because
Yeah.
if you're stupid enough to reuse a condom, we don't need more of you.
Well, see, what they're doing is they have to rinse it out because after they've snorted it up they fucking nose, they gotta get all the snot off before they fuck their girl with
You mean
it.
they don't want to use the snot as extra lube?
Nah.
Well, no, it's not extra lube. It's fortification, so it's extra less.
Right,
pregnant.
extra less
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You see, the mucus in the snot actually captures the little sperms. You know what? I'm
There
not
you
going to go
yeah,
deeper
look,
with this.
you
Guy.
giving them ideas.
This bit's too far. I'm not going any further with it.
Yeah. So let's recap, people. Teeth are now being nail decorations. There are 2 holding tanks on tour buses, and if you're going to be stupid enough to siphon the gas, make sure you grit the right tank. And condoms are a one-time, single-use thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like toilet paper. You don't reuse it. Although, I've seen ads on Craigslist for half-used toilet paper.
What the fuck never mind. I don't even want to know.
He
I don't
only
even want to know what
used-
that means.
He only used one side. So
Yeah.
the other side...
It's too
Yeah,
far.
yeah. He wiped his ass and he folded it in half. So it's still good. It's
Yeah.
fine. The shit is on the inside. You just use the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Lord, help us, Jesus.
Yep. So these are my stupid finds for this week. If anybody has a question about my thought process or how I come to the conclusion of, wow, we have a lot of stupid shit floating around on the internet, and you would like to share your comments or criticisms or concerns, or, you've come across your own stupid shit, feel free to send them to me on Twitter at FroggyBeaver. You can always email them to the show at officialoglfg.gmail.com. Yeah. And yeah. So Stay smart, kids.
If the fingernail girl really wanted to make a statement, she would get her nails done to look like nipples instead.
Sega is jumping on the mini bandwagon, which is Sega still a thing? Sega's a company?
I didn't think so.
Still, I was like, they still make shit?
I thought Sega went out in like 93.
Right, I was like, I didn't even know. I mean, I know they licensed like Sonic to be used in like those Mario Olympics or whatever, but I'm like, I didn't know that they still made things. But all right. Yeah, so they're jumping on a mini bandwagon. I am getting this from GameSpot.com. It says Sega has announced the Genesis Mini or Mega Drive Mini if you're in Europe. The compact version of its classic 16-bit console will allow fans to indulge their nostalgia and play a range of old-school games such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Gunstar Heroes on modern displays.
Or you could just come to my house. I have the original 16-bit version.
There you go.
And I have all of those games. So,
but see, that's the thing, though. Unless you have a TV that has the inputs for it still.
I do.
Yeah, you do, but I was going to say.
That's what I said. They could come to my house and play on my
Yep.
original 16-bit.
So remember, kids, open house
And you can
party
walk
at
out with a
DJ
handful
Melly
of
Mel's where you
condoms.
need to play the game.
and you got to make sure
noise.
$5 cover charge.
But they go on to say the company has confirmed that the list of titles includes Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania, Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. Sega has said the remaining games will be announced intermittently over the coming months. The Sega Genesis Mini is based on the Model 1 Genesis, except it is approximately 55% smaller than its original incarnation. According to Sega, in the box will be the Genesis Mini, 2 replica 3-button USB controllers, 1 USB micro B power cable, and 1 HDMI cable. In North America, a power adapter will also be included. Releasing mini versions of classic consoles has become something of a trend recently. Nintendo led the way with the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, both of which were received well by critics and went on to be hot commercial items. Sony followed suit with the PlayStation Classic, which wasn't received as warmly.
I don't even remember the PlayStation Classic.
The games that they put on there, people were pissed off about because there's like a lot of this shit is bullshit. Now,
are they going to have the Aladdin game where you like throw the apples?
We are getting to that because I got some feelings about this.
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah.
So, not bullshit. I'm kind of excited for this because Sega was my original console. That's what I grew up on. A lot of kids were Nintendo kids. I had a regular Nintendo, never had an SNES or anything like that. Sega was my console for a long time. I think I went Sega. I had the original Nintendo, then I went Sega, then PlayStation. I had nothing in between. No Nintendo 64, no Sega Saturn, no Super Nintendo.
Sorry.
Yeah, I went Sega, PlayStation. So that lets you know I missed a lot of shit in between that. So Sega was my bottom bitch for a long time. I am putting this shit out there. I am so glad that Echo the Dolphin is on there, because if it wasn't, I would have said this system is bullshit, it's trash, and it don't deserve your fucking money. But Echo will be on there.
They saved it with Echo the Dolphin.
Now,
I used to love that game.
Now, I was going through researching this and reminiscing on old Sega games, and I don't have the full list of games yet because they haven't announced all of them.
Sure.
But these, in my opinion, are must-have games for the Genesis Mini.
Gotcha.
Okay? Streets of Rage, Aladdin, Mortal Kombat 2, not the first Mortal Kombat, 2. 2 is the best. Batman the Game, 89 Batman, Earthworm Jim, X-Men the Game, Sonic and Knuckles, fuck Sonic 1 through 3, Sonic and Knuckles is shit. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, you shut your mouth.
No,
Echo the Dolphin.
I'm trying to count of how many of these I actually have.
Okay, Echo the Dolphin, NBA Jam, and the Lion King game. Boom. That's my list.
I have 8 of those.
Nice. That is actually really good. I'm surprised.
I have the Aladdin. I have the
You don't even remember. It don't matter.
It don't matter. I got 8 of them.
The point is, she got a lot of the games I just listed.
Yep, and then some.
But I mean, like they said, this has become a trend that has been happening more and more. Do you think if this is successful that Sega will put out a Sega Saturn Mini?
I don't think
No.
so.
No, you don't think so? You don't think that there's going to be a demand for Sega Saturn?
No, because the
Or Sega CD Mini?
No.
No.
Because those weren't as, like, received as well as the
Fair,
original.
Fair. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a GameCube Mini. It's going to be like a thumb drive and shit.
As long as they fix the bugs on it and, make sure that shit didn't explode.
Do you guys have anything specifically that I didn't list or that they didn't list that you would want to see on this? Because, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I was a Sega kid growing up. I mean, like, Benwah, what was your, like, console as a kid? Were you a Sega kid or were you a Nintendo kid?
What was your console of choice?
I didn't have a preference. My first one was the NES, and then I wound up having both the Model 1 and Model 2 Genesis in my time.
Did they have?
And I had I had a NES, Genesis, PlayStation, and like I've had the big ones.
Now,
and I even had the shitty ass Virtual
Boy.
Oh,
I remember that too. Yep, I remember that. Now, on the original Genesis, like, did you have a favorite game or games?
Oh yeah. I used to. My mother wouldn't like me saying this, but it's true. I used to just get fucking like lit. I'd get stoned and just play like Sonic. all day.
Nice.
But either Sonic. I mean, I had the Street Fighter 2. I had Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. I had all the Sonic games. I love Jeopardy.
I forgot about Jeopardy on the Genesis. That was the shit.
I have Jeopardy
was
on
really good on Genesis.
I have Jeopardy on the SNES.
And probably my favorite game that I probably played the most of, though, if not Sonic, was Shadowrun.
Shadowrun was a good one. That was a good one.
Did they have Golden Axe on the list?
Yeah. Golden Axe was originally a Sega arcade.
Well, yeah. No, he's right, but I don't think it was necessarily on the list of announced games, but maybe.
Oh, no. It was not announced. The only real classic, like, arcade-style games that were announced for this would have been Altered Beast. And the sequel to Space Harrier 2.
I have...
Those were the original, like, arcade-style Sega games.
I have the Golden Axe where the chick rides, like, the dinosaur-looking thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I got that. That was one of my favorites. And then, of course, the Aladdin and Batman 89. That was... I still have yet to master Batman 89. But I can get really far on Aladdin.
I beat that game, and it was not easy.
Yeah,
Fighting the Joker at the end of that is a bitch.
I can't even get to the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it ain't easy. It took many months to get to that point.
I can get pretty far in the Aladdin game. There was...
Lion King was the shit.
The Lion King game, yeah.
Aladdin was good, but Lion King, like that stampede part of the game where you had to jump over the rocks and shit, that shit was hard as shit.
Well, the Aladdin one has...
And the Hakuna Matata level
Yep.
Cool
I
too.
like the Hakuna Matata level.
With the monkeys would flip them and shit like that. But see, stuff like this where it's like, this is a good nostalgia.
Of course.
Cash grab. I don't like nostalgia cash grabs in general, but this is one where I'm like, you know what? These are things that unless you have a what's the word I'm looking for, Benwah, to play older games, emulator.
An emulator on your PC, or if you nowadays have the hardware like the old Retro Pi or a modded Raspberry Pi or something, this will be the next best thing.
And it's like
the whole idea is bringing these classic games and upscaling them to fit modern
and it's like that. That I can appreciate. You know, and I'm like, and like I say, as long as they have a good library of games, they were saying like up to 60, I think. Games are going to be on it. I'm with it. Like I would go buy this. I think it's going to be like $100 or so. I would totally get that. You get two controllers.
Yeah. No, it's actually going to be $80, the same value as the SNES.
Oh, well, there you go. So
less
than $100, two controllers, a Genesis, and like 60 games to play. Fuck, man, I would be all over that shit. Especially just to go back and see how well I am at it now, because I have such modern gaming sensibilities. I would love to see how I would do on Streets of Rage now that I'm used to other kind of fighting games and shit.
You know the other game that I really liked? I had the Ninja Turtles game.
Oh,
For the Sega. Still do.
Hyperstone Heist. Hyperstone.
Yep, still do. That one's hard.
But now when it comes to a lot of the bigger titles, specifically those that are like Disney, or you said NBA Jam, Tournament Edition's better, but games like that, they're going to need to deal with licensing. So anything that's owned by Disney or, sports affiliated things are going to be difficult for them to get onto this console. So I wouldn't expect them to
And you know what? Going back to my list, because of all the controversy around him, we're probably not going to get the Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
I never heard of that one.
Oh, that game was fun as shit. You could turn into the car.
You've never heard of that?
Nice. Never heard of that one, no.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, you could like moonwalk and throw his hat as like a weapon and shit. Oh, it was dope.
All right.
Yeah, there's a move where basically you spin, and just by spinning, it like damn near instantly kills enemies at the cost of health. But if you spin long enough, then all the enemies come on screen, and you have like a little dance thing.
Oh man, that was that time in gaming where they were still trying like different shit with like crossovers with like artists and shit like that. Because I remember Shaq Fu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, that shit.
Yes. Oh, you didn't like Shaq Fu?
No, I did not. That game is shit.
I love Shaq Fu.
I preferred Barkley Shut Up and Jam over
Spider-Man versus the Kingpin on Genesis. Yes, that was good. I can't believe I didn't think of that shit. I fucking love Spider-Man. Batman 89 was like the first thing that popped up in my head because I played the shit out of that game.
Yep,
Especially when you got to be in the Batplane and shit. Oh, that was dope.
You get to be in the Batplane?
Yeah. You need to get further in that game. Yes.
You need to come over and show me how to get further in this game.
Well, I don't know because I think there was different versions for the Nintendo and the Genesis. What do you got?
I have it on Genesis.
Okay, good. Yeah, but see, you didn't get to that part until you were getting closer to the clock tower fight with the Joker. So if you ain't to the parade part,
I
then,
can't get off the first screen.
Okay, damn. we gonna get you there. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I mean, I am very excited for this. I support this 110%. As long as they got a good library, I'm with it. I am still like, do you think there is any other, or have we mined all the old school consoles at this point? Or do you think that there's anything else that they could make a mini of and bring back that people would glom onto?
You know what I want to see?
Oh, yeah.
Resurface?
What?
It's not necessarily for something that hasn't been released. It's just something I don't know that's been released.
Okay.
I want the Wayne's World game for the SNES to make an appearance somewhere. Like, I don't know if you've played it. Probably not.
No, I know the game, but I never played
it because Wayne's World was my
Hail
favorite.
to the no.
But I need it to reappear somewhere.
Somehow, some way.
Yeah, I might have to go buy it on eBay when I get paid. I think.
Don't pay money if you pay any more than $1 for that piece of shit.
Damn, you really don't like that game.
What?
It's a bad game.
I like that game.
I'll sell it to you for 10.
Damn.
I can get it on eBay for 7.
But my question.
But you ain't gotta wait.
My
for
question
it.
still stands.
Right
Amazon for 4. So
do you think that do you think they could come out with like an Xbox Mini and it would still have the same effect, or is that still too recent?
I don't think so.
Too
because
recent.
they're still making Xbox. Like, we just got the Xbox One or whatever.
Sure, but I mean, they're still making PlayStations, and they had the PlayStation Mini.
They won't do that when the modern consoles are going to be backwards compatible. There's no need to.
That's true. I don't know. I almost feel like it has to be something in the 16-bit era, or it doesn't really translate well. Or at least give it another 20 years and then do it with like Xbox or something. Maybe another 10. Maybe 20 is too long. Yeah.
Well, when you look at the PlayStation Classic, a lot of PlayStation games were already big in their own right. Yeah, not all of them were, but there were plenty of games that were over 1 gig. Mind you, that's not a big deal since we have terabytes now. But to be able to emulate, to even, like, the biggest flaw with the PlayStation Classic is that it emulates the games fucking poorly. Which is beyond, no, you should know better, Sony. You fucked up big time with that. But as it comes to that, it's going to be licensing issues, and the games are so large now that you're not going to really be able to fit too many of them on if you were to go, like, to the 6th gen. If you were to go to, like, the PS2 or the GameCube. The games would be a little bit too
Yeah,
large.
that's fair.
So we're not ready for that.
Yeah, that's going to be at least another decade or so down the road. But I feel like since they've realized that this makes money, that this trend isn't going to go away. It's not going to be like a every year kind of thing. But I feel like every like maybe 3 to 5 years, a new one will pop up.
Well, what would be next? Let me see. We have the NES. We got the SNES. They're coming out with the Genesis, so they already skipped over the Master System.
I'm telling you, man, Sega
It'd be
CD.
Atari.
Nah, the Sega CD wasn't big enough. I mean, it would be a nice niche thing. Turbo graphics, despite that, like the PC Engine, even though it didn't really go over well in the US, that would be the next like 16-bit console to put out. N64, they're going to have issues with, but that would probably be the next logical step if Nintendo were to release another mini console like this. You wouldn't want to skip a generation to go right to the Cube. You'd want to go with the 64
64, yeah. Because if I can play GoldenEye again, I'm set.
I have GoldenEye.
Yeah, but the problem is GoldenEye is a Rare game. You're going to have to deal with the company Rare. That's no longer. There's going to be a lot of licensing issues, which is the same reason why I mentioned like on this Genesis Classic.
Yeah, NBA Jam.
There's probably going to be a good number of good games that you're just not going to see.
Which is bullshit though, because
Mind
it's
you,
like these fuckers ain't doing shit with the GoldenEye fucking license. Like what are they doing with that?
I don't know. The price of like old games in general just baffles me because they're at that point where it's all like.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so.
It's not so much Rare. It's more that Nintendo owns some of the characters of Rare.
Yeah.
So to have them release that on a console that Sega's producing, because Sega is only like this is the first console. Even though it's a mini, this is going to be the first console Sega's put out since the Dreamcast 20 years ago in '99.
Damn, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Dreamcast was the
because
last
you might
one.
have seen some. You might have seen like some mini like Sega shit that you could buy at fucking Family Dollar, but that's third party shit. That's not really true Sega.
They have a Wayne's World game for the Genesis.
Oh my gosh,
they do. Don't buy it.
I was like, what is she looking up now? Oh my god. But
I'd
anyway,
rather buy it for the SNES though, because it's way cheaper.
But anyway, no, this is going to be cool, and I can't wait to see this when this comes out. Because I mean, once I can see the full library, I might go ahead and drop that $80 and get one because that looks like that'll be fun.
It'd be worth it.
You can pre-order them now.
Oh shit, yeah, and they're going to do that thing where it's like, oh, we only made like 10 of them, so they're sold out. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, motherfuckers want this shit,
right? You better make more than 10,
right?
Which might be the reason why they're kind of delaying all they're going to give away from it. Then again, it's not going to be released until September 19th. So they have ample time.
Plus two, I think...
Assuming they don't push this back for the holiday season.
Plus two, I think they might have to work out, like you said, licensing shit for some of these. And maybe they can't just announce it just yet because they haven't gotten it finalized.
But even so, I mean, the library is expensive enough, to my knowledge. Like, there's a lot of really good games I can think of that you did not even mention that could be on this console. But I don't remember what you already mentioned, so I'd probably be repeating them if I said anything. But I mean, like you said, Echo the Dolphin, fucking great. Castlevania Bloodlines, fucking great spinoff. Space Harrier 2, that's going to feel like your arcade shooter. Have you ever played any of the Space Harrier games? It's a fucking trip, dude. It's worth it. Shining Force, tactical RPG, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. How they have that on there, but they did not announce... But they did not announce columns?
Yeah. But they may.
Oh, that might be other two. Toe Jam and Earl, fucking classic. Even though they just did get remade not too long ago for a modern console. Comic Zone, fucking great game. Although, I'm wondering how come they haven't released 6-button controllers for the Genesis. Because there are going to be some games where it'll be much easier playing with 6 buttons. Like Comic Zones, for instance. They're going to probably have all the Sonic the Hedgehogs. However, I'd rather them have Sonic 3 and Knuckles combined and not 3 and then Knuckles separately. It'd be not because they're going to be emulating these ROMs. I don't know if it's going to be on a chip or if they're going to have like a zip drive or a flash card or anything in there. But these ROMs are so goddamn small. You can fucking put more. And you own Sonic still. So fucking put them all on there. Gunstar Heroes is one of the best games on the fucking console. But I'm thinking like Road Rash, Rocket Knight, Crusader of Senti, X-Men 2 I prefer, fucking Vector Man.
I forgot about that one.
classic Sega Racer, arcade style, Outrun. I remember playing Outrun with the fucking wheel in the arcade. Lost Vikings, Zombie Ate My Neighbors, Strider. Like, so many games. So many games that could be on this. And I want the NES, even though I emulate, I want the NES Mini. I want all these shits except for the PS Mini or the PlayStation Classic because you fucked up with that shit.
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot with the PlayStation. Still, though, I mean, this is going to be dope. And like I said, if you're going to do a nostalgia cash grab, do it like this. This is the right way to do it.
I'm down for it. So you can buy it, and we'll play the originals at my house, and then we'll come play.
Hey, I'm all over that shit. I'm telling you, I might get one for real. Like
Slumber
legit.
Party.
Hell yeah! And then we can get you.
I
Through
keep
Batman.
forgetting to give you my list
Good.
too. I keep forgetting to give you my list of games so you can buy them off me.
Why don't you just text it to me?
Yeah, you know.
Because it's a long fucking
All
list.
right, come on. All right, moving on.
So, we're just going to pretend Eternal Champions is not the greatest Sega game of all time. Your must-have list is shit. Yeah, I said it, fight me.
Okay, so last thing we got here is this was one that DJ Melly actually sent me on Messenger.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yes, this will be cool. So we have already seen the trailer for the new Child's Play remake, and we talked at length about it and our thoughts about what it may be and different things like that. And I initially really wanted Chucky to have like the voice of a child.
Yeah.
With like adult sensibilities, because he talks in that like, "Hi, I'm Chucky" voice, but then he's all like, "Oh, you fucking bitch," and all that shit. So I was like, I wanted him to keep the kid voice the whole time, but then still say crazy, like fucked up shit.
Sure.
But now that we know that Mark Hamill is going to be doing a voice, what he could do with that has me really excited for it.
You and me both.
Because I mean, now this is my opinion. But I feel that Mark Hamill is one of the most like versatile actors like in the world. I mean, he can go all the way from somebody that's this like optimistic, hopeful, kind of naive character like Luke Skywalker, all the way to the end of the spectrum as this like maniacal, chaotic, crazy ass Joker in the Batman animated series, and like everything in between. Like I've seen him just kind of play straight man characters and different things like that. If anybody's ever seen The Guyver, that movie is terrible, but I still love it because it's just horrible. But he plays a cop in that, and he's pretty much a straight man in that movie. And I was just like, that's Luke Skywalker. Like, that's what I know him as.
See, I know him as the Joker. I'm not a Star Wars person.
I'm kind of on the level. I'm not like super hardcore,
like, I
but
know of Star Wars.
Sure.
And I know of some of the characters.
Sure.
And I know that, you know.
Well, you know who Luke Skywalker
Well, of course. I know
that's the only one that matters.
I know that,
and Darth Vader,
you know, he's in Star Wars and he's Luke Skywalker and I know all that fun stuff. But as to say that I've never watched a Star Wars movie, that would be accurate.
Damn. Okay, that's fair. But that being said, though, the one thing I'm a little bit worried about is I don't want him to do a Joker voice. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I want him to do something creepy and cool, but I don't want him to turn into the Joker. And I feel like sometimes when he plays creepier characters, he may have a habit of slipping into that.
I think the laugh is going to get him.
Yeah, because I think he played the Joker for so long in the Batman animated series,
and not
that
to mention
it's hard.
He's in so many different
the Arkham games and shit.
He's in the Arkham games. He is the voice. If you've ever been to Six Flags, they have a Justice League.
Oh no!
It's a Justice League like virtual reality thing.
Sure.
And they put you on this coaster, and I mean it doesn't like do flips or nothing, but
sure, yeah,
it's fun enough, and
it's kind of like that Willy Wonka train ride kind of shit. Yeah,
and you like you like interact with the game as the coaster goes through this big building, and he's the voice for that.
Okay.
And then we have multiple versions of him in video games and cartoons, and I think that laugh's gonna get him because. You know when Chucky is like plotting something and he thinks he's gonna get away with it, and he goes, does his little Chucky laugh.
Chucky laugh. Yeah,
I think it's gonna come out. I think we're gonna hear a Mark Hamill laugh.
I'm still kind of bummed though, because I'm like, the actor who plays Chucky in the original movies, I'm pretty sure that dude's still alive.
Yeah, what happened to him?
So, he has a little smaller part in the Lord of the Rings movies. I forget the name of his character, but he's some weird fucker in that and shit. But still, I'm like, he could have still did this, so I'm actually surprised they didn't just bring him back. But maybe there's just like, oh, we want to separate and do our own thing. But it's like, well, you got Mark Hamill to do it, so I mean, you could have got that guy. I mean, but still, if I had a choice, I would have picked Mark Hamill over the other dude anyway, but still. So I will say flat out, I am much, much more excited about this movie than I was. I was interested to see how they would do it, just off of curiosity, but now I'm like, okay, now I actually want to see it. Though I still need to see Chucky do something, because in the trailer, you don't even see him. You just like see the shit that he's caused, but you don't actually see Chucky himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they show him from the back like once, like for like a split second, but you don't see his face full on, and you definitely don't hear him talk, which is probably on purpose because they hadn't cast a voice actor yet. But now show me a trailer with Mark Hamill doing the voice of Chucky, and I'll be all in. Balls deep the whole way.
I'm down.
I'm in, because
well, I don't even remember the trailer, but it would be nice if it's supposed to be a bit of a reboot if we actually see Mark Hamill in person in the film first, like we did in the original, where you saw the killer.
Because when we talked about it, it seems like it's not gonna be the dolls possessed. The way they kind of presented it in the trailer, it's more like it's artificial intelligence gone wild, and that was one of the things that turned me off to it. So, I don't think it's going to be like the killer soul in the doll's body. I think it's just going to be the AI went crazy.
They're going to implant his thoughts.
Well, because like on the box for the Buddy doll, it's spelled Buddi, but the I has a little Wi-Fi symbol over the I, kind of implying that it's like a Wi-Fi AI kind of thing. And I had a theory that he's going to be able to control the other Buddy dolls too, because there's a scene in the trailer where they show people like running in a toy store and everybody's freaking out. And I think he brings all the other Buddy dolls to life and makes them go.
Oh, sure, he can hack the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I still want it to be a serial killer in the doll's body. That's what made it cool, but they're probably gonna change it, and it'll be like, you know, Francine is possessed, you know, a doll, and now she's killing everybody. So we'll see.
Go all iRobot on him.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Every time Francine's around, that's what I think of.
Is iRobot.
Fucking Vicky from iRobot.
Yeah, or Toy Soldiers or something like that. Yeah, that's actually a really good example. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want that. I just want to hear his voice. That's all I need. That, and I feel like if they would have had Mark Hamill voice over Jared Leto during Suicide Squad, I think I might have liked his Joker better.
I don't know. I couldn't get past the teeth and the face
the
tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm not. Everybody knows me. I am not opposed to tattoos at all.
Sure.
Very sexy on numerous amounts of people. However, on your face, it just doesn't do it for me.
But you don't get he's damaged.
I don't care.
You don't get he's damaged.
I can see he's damaged. He ain't got to plaster it across his damn forehead.
But yeah, so I would assume do we know when this Child's Play movie's coming out?
I think
June 21st. Okay.
I was going to say, I think it was
so soon
set to be released this summer.
So if he just now announcing he's doing, man, they better have him in the studio like 2 day recording this shit.
They probably just were sitting on it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because they wanted the wow factor, you know.
Yeah, but why not announce that when the trailer came out?
They got to save up for something. Endgame comes out in 3 weeks.
Oh, God, I know. Yeah.
Well, 4 weeks.
Yeah. No, more like
it's the 27th.
Yeah, whatever. And they'll probably have, the 27th is Friday, so it's going to come out Thursday
night. The pre-release.
So really the 26th. And yeah, go get your
mark our
Endgame
calendars. We need our tickets now because they're already selling out.
They already crashed Fandango and like movietickets.com and all this other shit. So, yeah.
AMC already crashed their website.
But anywho, That is it for the show. Remember, you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com. We are also on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, rate, follow, review, and all that shit.
And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, or you just want to say hi, put your 2 cents in on somebody's April Fool's joke, you can always email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. We're on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. I'm on Pinterest, but please don't follow me. No, I don't care. All you have to do...
You can just tell them not that you're not on Pinterest. You can just leave that part out.
I know,
and then
I could, but it makes it fun. All you have to do is search for One Giant Leap for Geeks. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.